See, today we are going to discuss about the isomerism. See, what are isomers? Basically, isomers are the molecules. So basically, these are different molecules, but they have the same molecular formula. So isomers always have same molecular formula, but are different molecules. Basically, they are different in physical and chemical properties. So basically, isomers are different molecules, but they have same molecular formula. So they are different in physical and chemical properties. For example, as we can see, the molecular formula of this compound 4 carbon atoms and 8 hydrogen, so C4H8, and molecular formula of this compound is also C4H8, 4 carbons and 8 hydrogens. But we can see in this case double bond is present at extreme position, and in this case double bond is present in between. So basically, the structure of these two isomers are not same, but the molecular formula of these two isomers are same. So basically, isomers differ in physical and chemical properties. So basically, we are going to discuss about the isomerism, which we call structural isomerism and stereoisomerism. So isomerism divided into two parts. One is structural isomerism and one is stereoisomerism. See, what is structural isomerism? Basically, structural isomers are those isomers which have same molecular formula, but different connectivity of atoms. For example, molecular formula is same, ABCD atoms in this compound. Also in this compound, ABCD atoms. So therefore, molecular formula is same. But we can see the connectivity is different, because in this case A is connected with B, but in this case A is connected with C. So basically, connectivity is different, but molecular formula is same. So those isomers we call structural isomers. We can also see, for example, as we can see, there are 4 carbon atoms in the main chain, but here only 3 carbon atoms in the main chain. So, and the molecular formula is same. The molecular formula, both compounds are same, but structure and connectivity is different. Therefore, these are structural isomers. Again, we can see the molecular formula is same. The molecular formula of these two structures are same, but connectivity is different, because pi bond in between 1 and 2 position. Here pi bond between 2 and 3 position. Therefore, these two are structural isomers. Again, we can see the connectivity of chlorine with carbon at first position, but the connectivity of carbon with chlorine at second position. So molecular formula same, but connectivity is different. Therefore, these are structural isomers. So same molecular formula but different connectivity of atom, then we call structural isomers. So basically, we divide structural isomer into part of chain isomer, position isomer, functional isomer, ring chain isomer, metamer and tautomer. See, what is chain isomer? First, we are going to discuss about the chain isomer. What is chain isomer? Basically, what are the chain isomers? As in chain isomer, what happens? See, basically, in chain isomer, they have same molecular formula. They also have same functional group. So in chain isomer, they have same molecular formula, same functional group, but different carbon chain. So molecular formula will be same, functional group will be same, but different carbon chain. For example, we can see in this case 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms are there, C4H10. We can also see this is also C4H10. So molecular formula is same, and also both are alkane. So functional group is not present, but we can see different carbon chain. The main chain is of 4 carbon atoms. Here the main chain is of 4 carbon atoms, and here the main chain is of 3 carbon atoms only. So we can say in this case molecular formula same, there is no functional group is absent, but there is different length of carbon chain. So these two isomers we call chain isomers. See, we can also see. So basically, we will decide the chain isomer and position isomer. We will decide the chain isomer and position isomer by using the trick. See, as we can see, what is the trick? So we will find a number xy, which we call isomeric number, where x is number of carbon in the main chain, and where y is all side chain is starting with carbon, if xy number is same, then we call it position isomer. If xy number is same, then we call it position isomer. And if xy number is different, then we call chain isomer. So xy number comes same, then position isomer, and xy number comes different, then we call chain isomer. So basically, what are position isomers? In position isomers, identical molecular formula will be same, also functional group is also same, and also parent carbon chain will also same. So basically, in chain isomer, molecular formula same, functional group same, but different length of carbon chain. In this case also, molecular formula same, functional group same, and parent chain of carbon atom which is also same, but differ in the location of position isomers, differ in the location of double bond, triple bond, or any substituent or functional groups. So basically, if position isomers are present, then there is different location of pi bond, triple bond, or substituent or functional group. So this is the basic difference between chain isomer and the position isomer. So basically, we will use the trick to identify chain isomer and position isomer. So trick is basically, if we will calculate the isomeric number xy, where x is number of carbon in the main chain, and where y is all side chain starting with carbon, If xy number comes same, if xy number is different for two compounds, if xy number is different, then we call chain isomer. If for two isomers xy number is same, then we call position isomer. Now we will do questions. See. So question number 1, we have to identify the relation between these two isomers. As we can see, the number of carbon atom in the main chain 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically, the isomeric number x is the number of carbon atoms in the main chain. So number of carbon atoms in the main chain is 4. So x is 4. Where y is the chain starting with carbon atom. So basically, there is no side chain. Starting with carbon atom. So we will say y is equal to 0. Therefore, the isomeric number xy is equal to 4, 0. What is 4, 0? 4 is the number of carbon atoms in the main chain, and y is the number of carbon chain starting with carbon. So basically, there is no side chain starting with carbon. Therefore, the number is 4, 0. In this case, again, first we will calculate x. X is number of carbon atom in the main chain, which is 4, and there is no side chain with carbon atom. So y is 0. As we see, xy number is same. Therefore, these two isomers are position isomers. We can also see that the position of chlorine is second position. Here the position of chlorine is first. So differ in the position of substituent or functional group. So Cl position 2 number, Cl position 1 number. Therefore, these two isomers are position isomers. Molecular formula is same. Now see again. As we can see in this case also, there is only main chain. So x is equal to number of carbon atom in the main chain 6. X number of carbon atom in the main chain 6. There is no side chain of carbon, so 0. Y is 0. So number is 60. When xy number is same, then position isomer. Also we can see double bond is present in between 1 and 2 position. Now double bond is present between 2 and 3 position. So the position of double bond changes. Therefore, these two isomers are position isomers. Now see the next. The next example is, we can see CH3, CH2, C triple bond CH. Again, number of carbon atom in the main chain x equal to 4. There is no side chain of carbon atom, so 0. xy equal to 4, 0. Now see, number of carbon atom in the main chain x 4. but there is no side chain of carbon atom, so Y is 0. Again the isomeric number is same, then these are position isomers. Also we can see directly triple bond between 1 and 2 position, here triple bond between 2 and 3 position, so these two isomers are position isomers. Now see the next. The next case is number of carbon atom in the main chain 6, so X is 6. Here also number of carbon atom in the main chain 6, so X is 6. See Y is basically the side chain starting with carbon atom. There is side chain of SH, but there is no carbon atom. Here also there is no carbon atom of side chain, so Y, the value of Y is equal to 0, the value of Y is equal to 0. So XY number is same, so these are also position isomers. Also we can see this is basically functional group thiol, position of thiol at third position and position of thiol at second position. So these two isomers are position isomers. Again we have to identify the relation between these two molecules. As we can see there is 4 carbon atom in the main chain, so isomeric number X is equal to 4, and there is also one side chain and side chain of 1 carbon atom. So there is side chain and side chain is starting with carbon and number of carbon atoms is 1. So basically we can say XY number is equal to 4 is the number of carbon atom in the main chain and 1 is the number of carbon atom in the side chain starting with carbon, so 41. Now see, number of carbon atom in the main chain is 4 and the side chain is starting with carbon, which is 1. So isomeric number is same. When isomeric number same, then we call this isomer as identical isomer. Why we call identical isomer? Because the IUPAC name is 2-methylbutane. The IUPAC name of this isomer also 2-methylbutane. So these two isomers are identical isomers, not position. So always remember, if these are isomer, then the IUPAC name must be different. But here we can see that the isomeric number is same, but the IUPAC name is also same. So these two isomers are identical. Now see the next. Now we can see this is the main chain. Number of carbon atom in the main chain is 3. So X is 3. Now see Y. Y is the number of side chain starting with carbon atom. So this is side chain, this is also side chain. So there are 2 side chain starting with carbon atom. So the value of Y is equal to 2. So isomeric number XY equal to 32. Now see, the number of carbon atom in the main chain is 3, X is 3 and Y. How many side chain are there? 2 side chains are there starting with carbon. So Y is 2. So these two isomer XY number is same and IUPAC name is also different. As XY number same but IUPAC name different, therefore these are position isomers. Now see the next. Next we can see there are 5 carbon atoms, so X is 5 and there is one side chain starting with carbon, so 5 1. Main chain 5 carbon atoms, so X is 5. One side chain is starting with carbon atom, so Y is 1. Therefore XY number same and IUPAC name also different. 3-methylpentane, 2-methylpentane. Therefore when isomeric number same, IUPAC name different, we call position isomer. Now see the next. The next case we can see, as we can see, number of carbon atom in the main chain 6 and there is no side chain starting with carbon atom, so XY is 6 0. There is also X is 6, X 6 and Y. There is no carbon atom starting, there is no side chain starting with carbon, so Y is 0. XY same and also IUPAC name different, so these are position isomers. These are position isomers. Now see the next. As we can see, the molecular formula is same, as number of carbon atoms and hydrogen atoms are same. X is the number of carbon atom in the main chain. So number of carbon atom in the main chain, X is equal to 6. Now see Y. Y is equal to, there are 2 side chain. There are 2 side chain which are starting with carbon. This is one side chain starting with carbon and this is another side chain starting with carbon. So 2 side chain, therefore Y is equal to 2. There are 2 side chain starting with carbon, so Y is the number of side chain starting with carbon. So we can say XY equal to 62. Now main chain X is equal to 6. So main chain contains 6 carbon atom, therefore X is 6. Now Y is, there are 2 side chain. One is this and one is this. So there are two side chain which is starting with carbon, so therefore XY number is same, IUPAC name is different, therefore these two isomers are position isomers. Now we will discuss our next topic, which we call conformers. See, what are conformers? So basically conformers are different orientation of one molecule. So what are conformers? Conformers are different orientation of one molecule which are interconvertible, due to free rotation, and the free rotation is about the single bond. So there is interconversion in the orientation of one molecule. So basically there is different orientation. Conformers are basically different orientation of one molecule. So conformers are different orientation of one molecule which are interconvertible. Why they are interconvertible? Due to free rotation about the single bond. Now basically conformers are formed due to free rotation about single bond. So basically conformers are formed due to free rotation about single bond. Now we will discuss about what is the reason for the formation of conformers? Basically conformers are formed due to free rotation about single bond. Now we will see the different three-dimensional orientation of atom. As we can see, this carbon and this carbon atom both are lie along the same line. So both atoms are lie along the same line, and this carbon hydrogen bond will be hid by this carbon hydrogen bond. Again, this carbon hydrogen bond is hid by this carbon hydrogen bond, and this carbon hydrogen bond is hid by this carbon hydrogen bond. Basically when we look from this position, when we keep our eyes at this position and we look the bonds, so this carbon hydrogen bond will be hidden by this carbon hydrogen bond, and this carbon hydrogen bond hides this carbon hydrogen bond, and this carbon hydrogen will be hidden by this carbon hydrogen bond. Now we can change the orientation because the rotation about carbon-carbon single bond is possible. So basically conformers are formed due to free rotation about single bond. So basically there is rotation possible. So rotation is possible about this carbon-carbon single bond. So when rotation changes, so this carbon hydrogen bond will come below. This carbon hydrogen bond when come below, and these two bonds come above the plane. So we can see this part will remain as it is. While the above carbon hydrogen bond comes below, and below two carbon hydrogen bonds come above. So these two isomers we call rotamers. Also we can say conformers. So basically they are the different orientation of one molecule. These two structures are the different orientation of one molecule, and these two isomers are interconvertible. So we can interconvert this into this form and this into this form, because rotation about carbon-carbon single bond is possible. See, now we will discuss about the projections of conformers. So first we will discuss about the Newman projection. So this projection which we have seen, this is the eclipse position. This position we call eclipse position, and this position we call staggered position. So this is eclipse position and this is staggered position, and the projection we can see, the projection we call sawhorse projection. This is sawhorse projection, which is named according to scientists. So we have seen so basically when the atoms hidden by another atom, so basically these two carbon hydrogen bonds overlap each other. So basically these two carbon hydrogen bonds overlap each other, these two carbon hydrogen overlap each other, and these two carbon hydrogen also overlap each other. This position we call fully eclipse position. but here we can see this carbon hydrogen bond and this carbon hydrogen bond are anti to each other. Anti, so basically staggered position we also call anti position, and in eclipse position there is more repulsion. Eclipse position there is more repulsion, therefore eclipse position is least stable form, while in this case the electron density are anti position to each other, therefore staggered position is most stable form. So these two projection which we have seen we call Sawhorse projection. This is the Sawhorse projection. So now we will discuss about the Newman projection. So next projection we are going to discuss Newman projection. Basically in Newman projection we can see that we require two carbon atoms. So this is two carbon atom. Basically we can see this carbon and this carbon bond lie in the same plane. So basically this bond lie in the plane of paper. This carbon and hydrogen bond also lie in the plane of paper. This carbon hydrogen bond also lie in the plane of paper. But this carbon hydrogen bond lie below the plane of paper. So dash means this bond lie below the plane of paper, below the plane of paper, and while the solid bond which we see, this solid bond, it lies above the plane of paper, So we can see, because the habitation of carbon is sp3, because the habitation of each carbon is sp3, this carbon hydrogen bond lie in the plane of paper, this carbon bond lie in the plane of paper, this carbon hydrogen bond lie in the plane of paper, while this carbon hydrogen bond lies above the plane of paper, this carbon hydrogen bond lies below the plane of paper. Now we can also draw these two carbon atom as front carbon. So basically we will draw front carbon by dot, and we will draw the next carbon atom which is rear. So rear by hollow circle. So front carbon atom will be shown by filled circle, and rear carbon atom will be shown by the hollow circle. So rear means back, and this is front carbon. Now see, we can also see this structure in the form, because this carbon contains 3 bonds with carbon hydrogen. See, so basically we can see that this is basically the front carbon. So front carbon is shown by the dot, and this is carbon hydrogen bond, this is carbon hydrogen, this is carbon hydrogen, and are at an angle of 120 degree. In the same way we can show the rear carbon atom. This is rear carbon hydrogen bond, rear carbon hydrogen bond, rear carbon hydrogen bond, and angle is 120 degree. So basically we will draw this carbon as front carbon and this carbon as rear carbon. Now see, as we can see, this is basically the front carbon, and this bond is front carbon hydrogen bond, front carbon hydrogen, and this is rear carbon. Hollow circle is rear carbon. As we can see, this is rear or back carbon hydrogen bond. This is also back carbon hydrogen bond, and this is also back carbon hydrogen bond. Now we can see that this carbon hydrogen bond is of basically front carbon atom. So this carbon hydrogen bond is of basically front carbon atom, but this carbon hydrogen bond is basically for rear carbon atom, is of rear carbon atom. Now we see there is theta angle between the front carbon hydrogen bond and rear carbon hydrogen bond. So basically theta is the angle between front carbon hydrogen bond and rear carbon hydrogen bond. So basically we see theta we call torsional angle. So theta is called as torsional angle. See, what is torsional angle? It is the angle between projected bonds. This is projected bond of front carbon, this is projected bond of rear carbon, and theta is the angle between the projected bonds. So theta we call torsional strain, and theta is the angle between projected bonds of front carbon and back carbon. See, the conditions of theta. So basically we can say torsional angle is also a minimum angle between projected bonds. So basically theta is the angle between the projected bonds of front carbon. Theta is the angle between projected bonds of front carbon and back carbon. So minimum value of theta we can say the minimum value of theta is 0. So the minimum value of theta is 0. See, when theta is 0, we call minimum value of torsional angle. Theta is the minimum value of torsional angle, and minimum value of torsional angle possible is 0. See, when theta is 0, then this carbon hydrogen bond, so basically rear carbon hydrogen bond will overlap by the front carbon hydrogen bond. See, this is the case of theta is equal to 0. So when theta is equal to 0, then all projected bonds of front carbon and rear carbon will overlap. So basically when theta is 0, when torsional angle is 0, then all projected bonds of front carbon and rear carbon will overlap, and this position we call eclipse position. And eclipse position is the least stable form. Why eclipse position is the least stable form? Because in eclipse position the torsional strain is maximum, the repulsion between the electron density is maximum, therefore it is the least stable form. So when theta is 0, then we call eclipse position. Now see the another case. When theta is equal to 60 degree. So this is projected bond of front carbon and this is projected bond of rear carbon. So when theta is 60, we can see this is the torsional angle. So when theta is 60, we call it as staggered position, because carbon hydrogen bonds are anti position to each other. So at theta equal to 60, we call it staggered position. So when torsional angle is 60 degree. See, the next term we are going to discuss about torsional strain. See, what is torsional strain? As we can see, this is the projected bond of front carbon, this is the projected bond of rear carbon. So projected bond of front carbon, projected bond of rear carbon, projected bond of front carbon, projected bond of rear carbon. As we can see, as bond having bonded pair of electrons, so there is repulsion between shared electron pair of front carbon and back carbon. So basically there is repulsion between the shared electron pairs of front carbon and rear carbon. So this repulsion between shared pair of front carbon, rear carbon, we call torsional strain. And we see torsional strain is maximum when theta is equal to 0. The position we call eclipse position. So basically there are two positions we say. So torsional strain is maximum when theta is 0, and when theta is 0, torsional strain maximum, and also it is minimum stable and maximum energy. So theta equal to 0, then we call this position as eclipse position. So at theta equal to 0, when torsional strain is 0, when torsional angle 0, then torsional strain maximum, this position eclipse position, and minimum stability, maximum energy. See the another case. Torsional strain is minimum when these bonds are at anti position to each other. So basically torsional strain is minimum when theta is equal to 60. So this position we call staggered position. So in staggered position, maximum stability and minimum energy. So basically in the eclipse position, the torsional angle is 0 and torsional strain is maximum because the bonded pair are very close to each other. Repulsion is maximum when theta is 0. So torsional strain is maximum, stability minimum. In this position, eclipse position. While when these two bonds are in anti-position, then theta is 60, torsional strain is minimum because front carbon and rear carbon projected bond opposite to each other, torsional strain minimum, maximum stability. This position we call staggered position at theta is equal to 60 degree.